tell us new concept of retreat. We are hearing it for the first time.
Yeah, this New Year, New Year's retreat, cabinet retreat, which started off on this first week of January, is a remarkable phenomenon and a step forward in governance for the state of Meghalaya, because for the first time, senior officials of the state government could interact with the chief minister and his entire cabinet on a number of vital issues across all departments and across all sectors, where we looked at the various challenges that departments are faced with, the opportunities for their growth, and also the roadmap that we have envisioned for each of the departments. It marks a new and welcome departure from the old style of just having 2-3 hours of cabinet meetings, because here there was a lot of opportunity for us to go in depth into the various issues, and also how those issues, programs, and policies of the various departments are also interlinked. And this is a missing piece in the entire game of governance here in Meghalaya, because all along most departments worked in silos, and I mean meaning independent of the other departments. But here a lot of synergy was required, and now we will lay more stress on synergizing the efforts of various departments. For instance, yesterday there was a very fruitful discussion on social welfare, and it's linked to education, it's linked to health departments. So the various department heads, along with the ministers in charge, could interface and interact on those various. How do we bring? How do we weave a common story for each approach, so that we are able to effectively deliver and show results to the people of Meghalaya?
So you think that this should be an annual affair or
Yes,
6 months?
we have already decided that this will be an annual event, and in fact, we will try to ensure that we do it at least twice a year, uh, so that we are able to effectively review what was discussed, say, for instance, in this particular retreat, in the next retreat. So we will try to ensure that we have annual retreats, but also ensure that we are able to even make it more regular than that, say 6 months gap.
Why Sohra was chosen?
Well, Sohra has been historically, if this didn't strike your mind, this Sohra is the oldest capital town of northeast India, and after the capital shifted from here, Shillong became the headquarters of undivided Assam in 1874. So I think it deserves this retreat.
So what were the key gaps that you could identify in, for example, the social welfare department that we discussed?
Well, for instance, we, the ICES program or the Anganwadi centers. Most of these centers, we have, for instance, a shortage of 1,200 such centers. But when we interfaced with the health department, they said we have facilities in those villages where we don't have Anganwadi centers, and their infrastructure could be utilized by social welfare department as well. So you save on cost, you save on space, you save on time, and there is synergy of government programs in one center. So that is where the gap was found.
any new founding on the drug problem that, with sitting down with all the departments that you could identify?
Yeah, in yesterday's discussions, what came across was apart from what we are doing with rehab centers, there is this need for de-addiction. And de-addiction happens to be a subject of the health department. So sometimes, addicts are sent directly to rehab centers. And what happens is that they missed out on the treatment part. And therefore, there is more chance of a patient going back to his addiction because he has not been treated. Uh, he still remains an addict while remaining at a rehab center. Whereas in the order of things, he should have first been given de-addiction treatment and then taken to a rehab. So things like that emerge from this discussion. So I would say it has been a very fruitful interface with line departments.
How was the presentation on tourism?
Uh, Tourism, as you know, is a major driver of the state's economy. Today, apart from agriculture and the services in the government sectors, tourism as a sector itself caters to roughly 50,000 persons. And those are direct and indirect beneficiaries. And if you calculate the entire family of one bread earner, it works out to 50 into 5. So it's a huge sector. We are trying our level best to optimize our efforts to ensure that as Meghalaya has seen a rapid increase and upsurge of tourism, we would like to see that we also cater to the need to ensure high value, low volume tourism. That is our stress.
Many were saying about the information flow, which was very unique, and you get to know so many things.
Right.
What is your
The information flow. Yeah. As we have done, our coverage has gone beyond the print media, beyond the electronic media. There is now a digital page of the tourism department. I have my personal page on Instagram, which has crossed 15,000 subscribers, and we are trying to ensure that we maximize the coverage because, as you know, there are certain states which have been traditional bastions of tourism which have suddenly nosedived, and that is where Meghalaya would also stand to gain. And in terms of our being a hill station, if you look around you, you will not find this kind of a landscape anywhere else in India.
We went to CH village here, where there is a single decker living root bridge. Can you also tell us about the status of heritage tag for the living root bridges?
We have already, after the visit to the UNESCO headquarters, we have had two virtual meetings with the top officials of UNESCO, and we are very optimistic that we will be able to get our living root bridges recognized as a rare phenomenon by UNESCO, and for which we will then get a tag from the UNESCO as Universal Tourism Wonder